Welcome to Spiritually Speaking, the talk show for spiritual wellness with the goal to bring about personal peace, love, and joy through spiritual education. It aims to raise the consciousness and vibrations of those who seek to live a fulfilled life through acceptance and non-judgment of all religions, beliefs, and practices that are positively based in God's love and light. Good afternoon, Tampa Bay and everyone else out there. How's everybody doing after this Thanksgiving week
Mhm.
and of food and fun? Hopefully you had a amazing time as I did. And want to welcome you to the show. And I also want to introduce my guest, April Lark.
Hello.
Yay! April, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
We have a jam-packed show today and lots of great things. And April's going to do something really special and surprising for us today. April is a palmist, a psychic, a gypsy card reader, a ghost hunter,
That too.
an actress, and a host of other things.
Sure, we'll go with that.
And she's also a really good friend. And I just love her because we, you know what, a special bond we have. We share a birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And so that just makes us these, amazing women.
Absolutely.
And so I hope you enjoy your time with us today. So since we have a jam-packed show, and thank you for being here with us today, I'm going to go ahead and get started. But remember, you can call in to the studio at any time. And the number today is 727-493-2055. My husband told me I needed to slow down when I was giving out that number because he was trying to write it real fast. But it's 727-493-2055. And if you're going by the number that is on all the promotional literature and everything out there, you can still call in that number and we'll get the call straightened out. But for today, and we also put it up on the monitor here today, so I think you guys can see it. Do you think they can? I don't know. Can you see that on the monitor right there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, today's show is about being worthy. And I think this is a really important topic because many of us, my friends, and sometimes myself included, thinks that, sometimes we think we work and do everything for everyone else. And sometimes we forget that we are deserving, that we are deserving of love and all of God's things that it has for us. And, I was told, as a little kid that, I grew up Christian, and just like a lot of people in this country did, that God wants for us anything, what we ask for shall be given to us. But we go, okay, well, God, I'm asking for this, but, I don't know if I deserve it because of all these other things I did, that maybe weren't so, what wasn't my most shining moment. But if you feel like giving me these things, then I'm gonna, can you sort of give them to me?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of see where I'm going with this?
Well, we block ourselves because we don't say, I deserve and I am worthy of. So we block ourselves from getting the things that we need to have and are actually worthy of.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's right. The word blocking is exactly what it is that you do. And deservability is having our needs met. So that's what we're going to focus on today. And I know we've been giving at Thanksgiving time, we talk about gratitude, and we talk about, since we're coming upon the holiday season more into it, it's a season of giving, but also don't forget to take care of yourself because you can't give what you don't have. You can give till you are at your limit, and then you're sick or you're just overwhelmed because you're not taking time out to take care of yourself. What I want to talk about is how unworthiness comes about. And a lot of times it's from a deep-seated feeling of unworthiness, and it keeps us from living our best life that we can live. And these often come from childhood, from work, from relationships that we have. It's comes from damaged self-esteem. And we take these into our adulthood and we focus on the more negative side of life And that gives you kind of a feeling of unworthiness, and it keeps us from experiencing the best for ourselves. And when we get what we expect, well, let me say this way: we get what we expect to get in life. So if we continue to feel we are unworthy, then we will continue to block the pathways that leads to creating a happier and fulfilling life. And I think that's what you said, April, isn't it?
On that note, I'd like to share something that you had given to me. You, of course, one of your many talents, you're a very gifted healer, and you had given me this simple phrase that I had never before said out loud, and it actually took me a minute to say it and make myself believe it. You said you need to read this phrase and say, "I deserve to be healed."
Absolutely.
And it's so simple, but at the same time, it's incredibly powerful. And I had to think about that and just say, we say, "I want to be healed. I
Yeah.
wish I could be healed."
Yeah.
You have to say, "I am also worthy of being healed and feeling good."
That's right. That's
And
right.
well, thank you for giving that to me.
Oh, well,
It has
you're
stayed
quite
with me.
welcome. You're quite welcome. Those affirmations are what we have to replace the feeling of unworthiness. You replace those feelings of unworthiness with positive affirmations.
Mhm.
So if you're feeling like I don't deserve it, you just change that to I am deserving, or I am worthy to be healed, and my healing has begun. Just those kind of things, or whatever it is in your life. If it's prosperity, or if it's love, if it's a harmonious relationship, or if it's the job that you want, feel that you deserve it. And it takes it more than just saying it. You actually have to feel it and believe it, that you deserve it. And just going to tell you a story real quick. Two little stories that of people that didn't really feel like they were deserving, but they were the most giving people. And there's a story of a Red Cross worker, and she prided herself in um, jumping right to it when it came to disastrous information and raising millions of dollars for people in need. Hurricane victims, tsunami victims, whatever disaster there was, she was good at raising money to get them housing, to take care of their pets, to take care of their needs, to make sure they had food, and that they were set up not just for that day, but also for some time to come. But she couldn't pay her rent. She was about to be evicted. And she had gone to this seminar, talking to this motivational speaker, and she told that story, and she said, "Why is that?" And he said to her, "When you know that you deserve to have your rent and your bills paid as confidently as you know that the disaster victims deserve to have their needs met, then you will raise the funds for your own important needs." And how many times do we do that? It's like the cobbler has no shoes, right? We just kind of go, okay, I'm going to do, you're doing this and doing that for people, but your own needs aren't met.
Mhm.
And this is when we want, what we're talking about today is, why is that? And I keep saying over and over, you can't give what you do not have. You can't heal anybody. You can't feed anybody. You can't love. It's hard to even give love when you don't have self-love, because you aren't open to it. My second story is about a firefighter who was on the job for 25 years. He had rescued people and kept the families together, even rescuing birds and cats, and saving people's belongings. And he did this diligently for 25 years. And he was getting close to retirement. And he was from New Hampshire. So he decided that he wanted to, for a couple of months out of the year, maybe have a rental home in Florida. Because, we're just fabulous down here in Florida. And, but he didn't think that he deserved to have time off, or even to have something nice in Florida, or to spend more than a few weeks. He was asked, okay, yeah, do you want to, that sounds great. So how long are you going to stay? He was like, well, I want to stay 3 months, but I'm probably only going to stay like 3 weeks. And when he was asked why, he was like, well, I don't think that, I should take the time off. And he didn't really have a good reason.
Mm.
Why not? You know how with friends they go, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then you go, well, why won't you do it? Because it sounds simple to you. And they go, well, and they have like a million reasons why won't they do it,
Mm-hmm.
for not doing it. They're not putting themselves, they're not taking care of themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
when that was explained to this firefighter, he not only decided to take 3 months in Florida, but he also decided to go ahead and buy the home and move to to the state of Florida permanently. He retired because he had done his job. And you think about all the people that we help in different ways, because we all have different gifts
Mm.
on the ways that we give back and we help. Um, and I was actually listening. I read books on tape because I'm busy, but I still so I can still read
Mm-hmm.
without sitting down there with the book and while I'm doing something else. For example, washing my car or something. Okay, husband, I know you're in there saying you never washed the car, but you know what I mean. But they were saying that I heard my husband laugh and I lost my chain of thought, but because he washed the car yesterday.
Mm.
But anyways, I just want to say that when you feel worthy of receiving all of the good the universe has to offer, your needs are easily met. And not only that, they're exceeded.
Mhm.
And as you learn to accept the grace that is given to you, you send a message to the universe that you deserve only the best and are ready to receive it. That's a powerful statement.
It's very powerful, but we feel like it's not okay to make ourselves a priority.
Yeah.
We put all of our energy into just taking care of everybody that's
Yeah.
important to us. And then we forget to say, oh, you know what? I'm also
Yeah.
important. We don't
Yeah.
do that.
If you It's especially important if you're taking care of someone. If you are a parent, a teacher, a spouse, a caregiver, um, this amazing employee, or someone that people look up to, or someone who has responsibility for others and other things. So it doesn't necessarily have to be people that you're responsible for. It could be things, it could be equipment, it could be, um, whatever it is that you are tasked with managing
Mm.
and protecting and taking care of. If you don't get enough sleep, if you don't get if you don't exercise and eat right and those kind of things, you just kind of you end up on the couch. You end up on the couch. And I have a tip for us today, April. You guys can't see this, but I have a rubber band on my arm.
Okay.
This simple tip. What do you think this is for? You have no idea.
Um, Reprogramming your brain, something to do with that? I'd
Yes.
have to guess.
Yeah. And you can get that's actually very good.
Okay.
But I expect that from you because like I said, we share this birthday and you're very insightful.
Our brains work in the same ways. It's a little scary. Scary.
But this does reprogram your brain with a simple pop.
Hmm.
When you start thinking that you don't deserve something,
Hmm.
when you start negative thought, when you start on a process that keeps going on and on and on, this is a good way to snap out of it. When
Hmm.
people say snap out of it.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't had to use this. I've had this on for 2 days and I haven't had to use it. So,
Hmm.
good for me that, I've been working on this type of thing for a while that um I know how to get out of, stinking thinking.
Right.
But for you guys out there, I often say in my classes that, you got to stop that thinking right now. And people go, but how?
Hmm.
How do I do it? And I always tell them to replace the thought with something that they love. I said, have a default memory.
Hmm.
So tell me what's one of your favorite memories?
Okay. It's weird.
Okay,
It's
if
weird.
it's
Go with me.
but it's your favorite.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Some people are going to say you are strange and all of that. And then some people are going to totally know what I'm talking about. What I think of, and I try to remember physically experiencing it, puppy breath.
Okay.
No, seriously, it's just some people don't like that. Some people, it calms them down right away.
Yeah.
If I could bottle it, I just
Puppy breath.
puppy breath. Well, it's just, they give you a little kiss on your nose and you can smell it. And it's just like that pure, just innocence and desire to just give you affection right in that
Yeah.
specific moment and just cuddle.
And it's unconditional love.
Unconditional love.
Yeah.
Yeah. The puppy doesn't care who you are. So I told you, it's weird.
You know what? The puppy does care who you are
Mhm.
because the puppy will bond to you
Without condition.
without condition.
Right.
You know, even if you're having a bad day.
Exactly.
It's just like, mama needs some love right now. So I'm going to go do some puppy breath things on her. So if that makes you, if that's it, I don't think that's weird at all.
Okay.
I really don't.
I don't either, but I've told some people this and they just look at me saying, wow, that's really strange. That's okay. It works for me.
It works for you. So that is a trigger for happiness, for unconditional love, for comfort. And that's the trigger that you need. So if you had a rubber band and it's just say, for example, you're just like in traffic and they're just driving slow, like they were driving slow when I was trying to get here today, y'all. But they're driving slow and everybody is just doing 20 in a 40 and whatever. And you actually pass the person, but you're still upset about it. That's a good time to snap out of it and think puppy breath.
Yeah.
Or think whatever your favorite moment is. If you have had an argument with someone or disagreement with someone and you just, the argument is over, whether it was settled or not, you keep going over it in your brain. It goes, I could have said this, I could have done that, if I do this and, should have and all of that stuff. What difference does it make? Really, when you can just go on. So you leave that thought, and a way to snap out of that is just give yourself a little, a pop if you need to, and that you're focusing on just the feel of your skin, of the band, the rubber band, just popping against your skin, and then that triggers you to think of your whatever that favorite moment is. So that's my tip. That's my tip for today, y'all, is just to snap out of the stinking thinking and to move on to your favorite thoughts. So whatever your default your thought is, and you guys have probably heard me say that mine is my wedding day. It was the most magical day of my entire life. And I go back to that moment when I felt the prettiest in my life. And, I was marrying my soulmate and the man who loved me more than anything. So that's what I think about. I was just like, man, I looked pretty good that day.
You look good now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's just but thank you.
Yeah.
But some days on your special day, you have everything perfectly, even if it's not exactly perfect, it's the most perfect moment at that moment.
True.
It's how you feel about it. Did everything go according to plan on my wedding day? No. But still, was it a perfect day for me and a happiest day for me? Hands down. So that can snap me out of anything.
Sounds great.
So April has a date coming up. I'm so excited for her. her and Josh and her handsome husband. He's also here in the studio today. Hi, Josh. If
Hi,
you can.
honey. I don't know if you can hear me.
And April has a wedding coming up in January, and I wish the same for you. So just remember, even if things don't, focus on the great things about your day. Not, I should have had this, the chair covers aren't there, the centerpieces aren't exactly, I paid for these, meals and these people didn't show up. Doesn't even matter because you're there with your man. And the people that are there are the ones that are supposed to be there to witness this union. And it's in your mind and your attitude of how perfect this day is going to be.
Yes.
So I know yours is going to be great. It's going to be great.
It's not going to go on schedule. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be a wonderful day.
Yeah.
I know that it'll be a fantastic day
Yeah.
for both me and Josh.
Yeah. Yeah. So then if you ever need a rubber band, I have one for you, girl.
Thank you.
And then you might want to swap wedding day and puppy breath, for your special memories.
As medicine, you know how those socialites will have like the Gucci bag with like a little dog with its head sticking out.
Yes.
I'll have that. This is my medicine. This is my medicine, and I keep this with me.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Your puppy breath. But
yes.
I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, you guys, it is about 20 after the hour. Remember, if you want to call in, the number is 727-493-2055. We're going to take you through a little meditation. And then we're going to get on with April talking about all the cool stuff that she does. Okay. So this meditation is about being worthy, all the things that we were just on today. So sit back, take a deep breath and relax, and let us begin. Close your eyes, inhaling and exhaling. Gently inhaling in and blow it out. We open ourselves to receive light and energy from these higher beings of our higher self. And we give thanks for their protection as we journey now and always on the road to spiritual enlightenment. We feel the warmth of their surrounding arms. Let go of all your thoughts and allow your mind to take you to a beautiful meadow. It's peaceful and inviting, so much so that you want to sit among the grasses and enjoy the splendor. And at this time, you sense the loving presence of your inner guides and spiritual teachers, and all who send you love and light. They are here for you today and always. We ask that you re-examine all that you have been told and release what insults your soul. Although in the vast universe, you may seem small, but you are also unique and irreplaceable. We are all equal in our worthiness the minute we are born into this life. You are worthy for just being you. You are worthy for just being born in this lifetime. You are worthy of all good things. The words you use either silently or out loud have an effect on your energy and your motivation. So release any thoughts or words or feelings of unworthiness. Use positive affirmations to change your thoughts and to refocus on the good things that you deserve and you desire in your life. Say now to yourself, I am lovable and worthy of love. I am worthy and deserving of all things good because I am. I expect and accept abundance to flow easily to me. I give my best, therefore I expect the best in return. I am worthy of God's love and healing and His blessings. Now declare your worthiness to yourself and do not settle for anything less than what you really want in your life. Don't settle for less than what you deserve in your life. We are all deserving and worthy of abundance, because we are all created in the same way. We are worthy because we are born. It's time now to declare your worthiness. Take some time to do something for yourself that you consider luxurious. Take a bubble bath or a long walk, meet a good friend for tea, or lose yourself in your favorite old movie. Make this the habit. The more you bring small luxuries into your life, the more you will recognize yourself as a worthy spiritual being, deserving of love and abundance. And as we draw this meditation to a close, remember that you ask for these things for something better, for your highest and your best. Namaste. Okay. When you're ready, open your eyes and come back to us. We thank you so much. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You can come back to it anytime you want to on spiritpioneers.com and click on Spiritually Speaking. So now we're going to talk to April and just all the wonderful things that she does. And you look a little scared right now. What's going on?
I don't know. What would you like to know?
Okay. So, okay. I know I listed for you guys today a whole laundry list of the things that April does. And you know what? She's really, really good at it. So let's do the palmistry now. How did you get into doing that?
That's something that I've always had an interest in, and I had wanted to start learning for the longest time. I had had a reading from a palmist at the Renaissance Festival years ago, and what she was able to tell me just absolutely blew me away, because I'm actually a psychic, or medium's worst nightmare. I will give you no indication of whether you're right or wrong. I just keep my face completely neutral. I will not feed you information. So
Yeah,
I gave her nothing.
I know because you're psychic as well, and you do
Yes,
readings, so
I do.
you know how.
Mhm.
And so do I. So I know that that's important to let
Right.
the psychic do what they do and get what they're supposed to get for you.
Exactly. And
Okay.
whenever I do a reading for somebody, I'll say, don't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Just don't feed the psychic. Don't tell me
Yeah.
something that I don't need to know. We're going to see what comes up on its
That's
own.
right.
And I'm not going to, pilfer something off of your body language or the expression on your face.
Well, before we do the palmistry, then excuse me, you guys. We're gonna come back to it because we're talking about April's psychic abilities and her card reading. So let's talk about that a little bit
Sure,
first.
of course.
So how I don't know if it's appropriate. How long have you been psychic? People have asked me that, but tell me about the development of your psychic skills and abilities.
Sure. It's you and myself and a lot of other people that we know are what could be described as an empath, meaning that you're sensitive to the emotions of others that are around you.
Mhm.
So I have, that's just me. That's how I popped out of the womb this time. I've been able to always do that. I didn't have the word for it until several years ago. I was at my old job. I used to work in an office. Never do that again. But I was with a very good friend of mine who I did work with. She's an amazing woman. I was feeling kind of neutral, and then someone had come into the office, and they were in a very, very just a bad mood. They weren't rude to me, nothing like that. They came in. I took care of what they needed, and they left. And just out of nowhere, I just felt like just incredibly sad, like somebody had crushed me.
Yeah.
And I was just, talking to her saying, I don't know what's wrong. I had, as soon as that customer left, I feel so bad right now, and I don't know why. And she knew what was going on. She says, you're probably an empath.
Uh-huh.
And I had no idea what that meant. So I read up on it and looked it up. And so,
was she feeling it too? Was she empathic as well?
She's a very talented, sensitive, and a very, very talented empath. She's very good. So she kind of made me aware of things that I'm able to do for myself. And as far as the readings go, um, you know, the deck chooses you.
Yeah.
This deck was just sort of, it seemed like an accident at the time. Another person in the same office that I work with, she said, my friend gave this to me, but I don't like it. I know that you're Russian. It's a deck of Russian gypsy cards. Do you want it? Sure. Okay. And I just
Uh-huh.
started, I went through all of the instructions. I got to know the deck and it just kind of clicked. And I've been working with that for, goodness, that specific deck almost 7 years now.
And I've seen your deck, and the cards are very different
Yes.
from any other type of deck that I've seen. The cards aren't even shaped.
No.
They're not rectangle, they're square.
They're square.
Uh-huh.
They actually they are made. Each square card has 4 half images on it, and you lay them all out, and you see what matches are created. And one of the reasons I love this deck is because it's non-denominational. It's for any
Mhm.
spiritual practice. I've even
Uh-huh.
done readings for agnostics because they're just nature-based symbols.
Okay.
Whether you're spiritual or not, it's still, do you believe in the existence of a bear or an apple or
Yes.
mountains? Like, sure, those exist. What does it
Yes.
mean to you?
Yes. Those are the things that we can physically see.
Absolutely.
Whereas angels, some people are still on the fence about whether or not they believe in angels. And and
Exactly.
and I know you are an angel card reader as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love doing it.
And I heard you say something about this deck likes to be touched and this deck doesn't, you know?
No,
Tell us
some
about that.
people, yeah, no, sure. Some people think I'm making it up just to be silly. And for anybody that has done readings, has ever worked with a deck, you are tuned into it enough to know that each deck has its own personality. The deck
Uh-huh.
that's right for you will choose you. A deck that's no longer meant for you, you know that you have to gift it to somebody. Well, my gypsy cards, they are incredibly social. They love meeting new people. They love getting positive energy.
Yeah.
They're like, we're so happy to see you. We're so happy to meet
It
you.
sounds like that puppy.
It's like a puppy. The cards, before I do a reading, I'll actually have my guest touch them and put their energy into them.
Uh-huh.
And they're fantastic and they're accurate and that's what's right for them. My angel deck, just as accurate, just as insightful, but they are like, no, you don't touch me. No, thank you. No, it's really weird. They want
Okay.
me to touch
So they're
them.
attuned to you.
But if I were to do a reading for you, I shuffle them and I don't decide how long. You decide.
Okay.
So they're touched by me, but you dictate what happens with
Okay.
them.
So what happens if someone else shuffles them and do you not get an accurate reading?
They can touch it with my permission. It's just
Uh-huh.
that as soon as they're done looking through them, because sometimes people just want to see their beautiful pictures,
Uh-huh.
I'll just have to, tap the deck a couple times and clear it and thank the deck, and then just go into doing their reading afterwards.
Okay.
So it doesn't ruin anything.
Okay, good. So the gypsy cards, how do they differ from, besides being square and they have pictures of the bear?
Mhm.
How's the reading?
Mhm.
How do you interpret what you're seeing?
That's where it can get pretty. It took me. I'm still actually learning from the deck. I mean, hopefully, if I'm doing it the right way, I'm never going to fully understand it because I learn a little bit with each reading that I
Yeah,
do.
that's true. Yeah.
There are images that show up, and so you talk about what each symbol represents,
Okay.
what that means to you, but then it can fall into 4 positions. So
Okay.
you talk about the symbol, and then it fell in this position, so we talk about that, and then when it gets really detailed, all of the matches that you have, I'm going to see which ones pop up and how all of those make a pattern for you that's specific to the reading I'm doing with you. So it can
Wow.
get very detailed.
Yeah,
And there's 50 images that can be created, so that's a lot of permutations of
that is. And
patterns.
yeah, and they can be anywhere. So yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
Mhm.
And where do you do your readings?
I do my readings at the Mystical Sense Metaphysical Store in Thanodasasa. It is a fantastic place. If you've never been there, it's down East Fowler. It is a fantastic, wonderful shop.
9545 East Fowler. I say it all the
I
time.
cut you
guys
off.
hear
Do that again.
9545 East Fowler.
You say that beautifully. It's they're open 7 days a week.
Yes.
It's a fantastic place. Definitely just one of the most soothing and positive shops I've ever been in. I love being there.
And they have a lot of things going on, and you are a
Mhm.
reader there.
Yes.
What days are you there?
The days that we have somebody there 7 days a week. The days that I'm there the whole day would be not would be they are Monday and Saturday.
Monday and Saturday.
Hmm.
Okay. Monday and Saturday you can, in what hours?
When I get there, I usually come in about 12 o'clock and then I'll stay usually till 6:37 till they close.
Okay. So, and we'll give you more information about how to contact April.
Mhm.
Also on my website on oilsandstones.com and go to Spiritually Speaking on the radio, and you can click on April's picture and it'll give you some information on how to contact her too.
Mhm.
Okay. So we have the psychic abilities,
Yes.
the empathic abilities, the cards. Let's do the ghost hunting.
Oh, that's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. It's not my company. The company that I work with as a tour guide is it's just ghost tours of Tampa Bay or something. You easiest to find them online because they don't have a specific office. You'd go to www.ghosttour.net. You got to put in both T's, ghosttour.net.
Ghosttour.net.
And the gentleman that runs this company, he's got several different locations all over South Florida. The location that I tour in is actually downtown Tampa.
Okay.
And that's what I've been doing for about 2 years now. I
So how
love
did you get
it.
into that, into ghost hunting?
It seemed like an accident at the time. All of these things seemed
Nothing's
to
an
be
accident, you know that.
accidental. It was really just a friend of mine was associated with one of the other tour guides, and he had
Mhm.
just said through conversation, "We're looking for another tour guide." She knew, knowing me, she knows that I'm very much into storytelling, performance. I love ghost stories and
Uh-huh.
ghost lore, and just
Yeah.
she knows I collect like scary stories from all over the world, urban legends or real things. I'm into that stuff. So she said, I thought you might like to know they're looking for somebody else. So call up and see, and I did, and they snapped me up and started training me, and I love it
So have you seen a ghost?
many times.
Of course you have.
But that no, truthfully,
Yeah.
I've seen
On your
them on
tours?
my tour and in my private life.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's partly because if you just refuse to acknowledge that it's a possibility, if you
Uh-huh.
absolutely don't want to, then
Then you won't.
it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I'm very open to it, saying I know that this is real. I know that they are just as real as we are.
Yes.
Then it happens more easily for me.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean,
So it wasn't an accident, you know that, April. It's just, we're put into these places where we're supposed to be, and I haven't been on your ghost tour, but I know it's fabulous. I heard from some of the people who have gone on it that you do a
Mhm,
really good job. So,
mhm.
um,
Well, I'm glad.
yeah. So if you also, I know you do parties and
I
you
will
do
do I
storytelling.
do will do events.
Yeah.
I actually I have children friendly events. It's not any the stories that I tell on the tour are history based and more for a more mature mind. But I also have events where I will do. I have a whole collection of children's spooky stories that all have like a wonderful message. So and also some scary, silly ones that
Yeah.
that kids like.
I saw you said airy scary, and I thought that was really cool. I want to remind everybody about the number 727-493-2055. So don't forget you can call in. And we're going to get back to some of those things that April's talking about that she does, but the fun thing that I have today is that we were talking about April's a palmist. So
Yes.
she's going to read a palm today of a very famous person.
Should we read the poem first and then tell them who it is? Should we do that?
No, I think we should, however you want to do it.
No, it's however you want. I'm good either way.
Okay. All right. So you were talking about how you became a palmist.
Yes.
Okay. And so how long have you been doing it now?
I have actually only been doing it since this past winter. I have been going through every single book that I can find, talking with people, doing. I mean, sometimes the internet can help, sometimes not.
Uh-huh.
But you go into actual search engines, and it's just it literally. Please forgive the pun, but it really is a hands-on learning process.
Yes.
I'm so sorry I had to
Yeah.
say it. Um, really, it's just you get all of this information,
Uh-huh.
and you have to I had no idea how detail specific it was and how many different types of palmistry there are.
Yeah.
And you have to look at everything. You look at the shape of the hand, the fingers, the thumb, the wrist, the texture of the skin, the temperature, the strength of their grip. So I get all of this information, and I like it because there is a science to it, but it's also a combination of science and art because you have to learn how to interpret what you see because
Yeah.
everybody's just a little different.
Yeah. And I had the pleasure of having my palm read by you, and it was so accurate, and it was a very I felt so good after that reading. I
Mhm.
really did. Because, I've had my palm read before
Mhm.
by, um, I have to, I've had it read before. And actually, right after my husband and I met,
Mhm.
there was a girl, she was Middle Eastern. She was looked to be about 16.
Mhm.
And just for fun, a bunch of us friends went in and had it done. And she told me that I was going to be with my husband.
Uh-huh.
She said, she says, she pointed to him. He was in the room, not even paying attention.
Uh-huh.
And she pointed to him. She's like, "He's your husband?" I said, "No." She says, "He will be."
Wow.
And then she read some other things on there, that were pretty true. And I was just like,
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
And I also had someone do it intrusively too.
That's
When I
never
didn't
okay.
ask for
No.
it. She was just standing next to me and go, "Give me your hand," and just started reading it. And then I
Mhm.
felt violated after.
It's you can't touch somebody and tell them things without their permission. That's not
Yeah.
right.
So, all right, you psychics and mediums out there, just keep that. If you have to learn etiquette, there is a way to do this where you're not invading someone's privacy, and
You
that's the bit.
can't
Yeah,
force information on people.
yeah,
No.
yeah. And the reading that she gave me was just a little disturbing for me, so I
Mm.
didn't. Anyways, back to the famous person. Da da da. Da, here we go with it. So, Adam, can you do us the pleasure of putting up our picture for this famous person that April's going to do reading on?
Ta-da!
There he is. It's President Barack Obama,
Yes.
and I guess someone else decided to look at his palm, take a look at it.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm looking right there, but you guys out there probably can't see that. That's the Is that a callus right there?
I can't
Right,
tell.
okay, so I'm gonna move this over so
Let me get a
April can
closer
take a
look.
look at it. So, anyways, I'm moving this over so April can begin her palm reading on our president. Let's see what she
Absolutely.
comes up with.
And I can give you some information, but overall, it's just going to be very rudimentary and basic
Okay.
because, again, um, never going to happen. But in order to give an accurate palm reading for
Uh-huh.
President Obama, I'd actually have to be sitting here with him and actually be able to touch his hand.
Okay, he's a buddy of mine, and when he comes to town, I'll just
Get
figure.
out. Get out.
I'm just saying he could be. It could happen. It could happen.
I would love that. It's like, President Obama, may I give you a palm reading?
Say, wait a minute. Let me call my girl April. Just be right back.
That would be
But for
amazing.
now, look at this.
Yes,
You never
based on
thought
what I
that you
have
would
now.
even do this.
No, no, of course. So based on what I'm looking at now, oh, where'd it go? Did it go away?
No,
There he is. Okay, so taking a look at the overall shape of his hand, because that's what you start with. He has what would be described in European or Chinese palmistry a fire hand, which is perfect. If you want somebody to be the leader of a country, they're better off having a hand of action. That's what the fire hand is. Very type A, very motivated, excellent at starting new projects, taking on complicated, involved tasks, organizing things. The challenge that a person with a fire hand has is that you have to pace yourself because if you put all of your energy into it once, you burn out very quickly.
Okay.
So that's a lifelong challenge for somebody with a fire hand, but amazing at getting people excited and just organizing and just getting projects started. Fantastic. This is the ideal hand for the leader of a country.
So what about it tells you that it's a fire hand?
You look at the length of the palm versus the length of the fingers.
Okay. So is
So
the palm longer?
the palm here is longer than the length of his fingers, and so
Okay.
that's what indicates the type of hand that it is.
Okay.
The length of the palm would indicate just deep, constant emotion. There's always something ongoing, even if you have to keep a tight lid on it. And the fingers, the length of the fingers being shorter, it just shows what he has to deal with, which is basically there's a tendency to be very impatient
Okay.
because you are type A. It's the
You
let's
want it
get
done
this
now.
done. Let's
Yeah.
get it done. It's
Yeah.
the right thing to
Don't
do.
dilly-dally.
I know how to do it. Please
Yes.
hurry up.
Okay.
So also taking a look at his thumb, you examine the thumb closely. He has to go with his hand, a thumb of action. You look at the tip of it right here, the right there. That's your motivation. That's your just like let's get things going.
And
You
if
s-
you guys can't see it, she's looking at the tip,
this
that
this
part
tip
right
right
there.
there,
Okay.
right there, the tip of it. Um, that's your stubbornness, your willpower, and if you see like the middle phalange, this piece right here.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
that's
where the crease is, the
mhm,
crease in your thumb. Uh-huh.
that's your logic. So ideally, in a perfect world, we would like the willpower and the logic to be the same length. That rarely happens.
Uh-huh.
But again, I would prefer to see that he has bigger willpower than logic, because he's not, if he knows that something is the right thing to do, he's not going to wait around. He's not going to make out a lengthy list of pros and cons and maybe even talk himself out of it. He's going to say, this is what we have to do. We have to have a plan of action now.
And I
So,
see on his that area right there is kind of dark. Does
mhm.
that mean that it's bigger?
Which one?
This
Show me.
one.
That one right there?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, because
I'm
we have
sorry.
to see it. Okay, we'll ask him when we see him
When
next.
I meet President Obama, I will ask him specifically, what is this
Okay.
all about?
Alrighty.
That's another thing that that people have to remember to do when you're learning palmistry, because you look at the entire hand. You
Hmm.
have to say, are there any illnesses or injuries that I need to know about?
Okay.
Because if there's anything that has changed the shape of your fingers or the way that they're held,
I see.
you're going to give them a reading based on what you see in front of you, but it's not going to be accurate because it's arthritis
I
or
see.
an
I
injury
see.
or something.
Uh-huh.
So over time, the lines on the palm change with us. The palm that you have right now is not
Hmm.
the one that you were born with, and it's not the one you're going to die with.
Okay.
The fingers and thumb, on the other hand, unless there's injury or illness, they remain the same.
I
That's why
see.
I always have to ask
Okay.
about the fingers.
So the lines in your hands, your heart line and your head line, those lines change, huh?
Yes, they do.
Okay. I wouldn't have thought that. I thought
Hmm.
that, I thought it was like a fingerprint, like
Hmm.
it never changes,
Nope.
but not the palm.
The palm changes over time with us.
Okay.
So
So
that's
what else do you see?
what else can I see? Let's take a look at his fingers. I'm looking at the index finger, and you're supposed to measure that against the ring finger. The index finger is known as ego and self-esteem, and the ring finger is sensitivity, creativity, that sort
Uh-huh.
of thing. You measure those two together. His ego and self-esteem is a little bit shorter than the ring finger, meaning that while he's very good at covering and showing his confidence, he really has to talk himself up, and it's really, being the president, of course, he has to put up that front of I'm a
Yeah.
confident person and I know what's going on.
Uh-huh.
But this tells me that his self esteem could use a little bit of plumping, just
Okay.
personally, his
Yeah.
personal feelings. Um, let's
Well,
see.
I can see how that is for a person in that. Well, let me say this. It
Hmm.
seems like a person in his position would need a really big ego, but it would constantly have to be fed,
Hmm. Hmm.
saying that you are doing the right thing because you're making decisions for,
That's right.
not just our country, for, you know, around the globe, right?
Exactly what you said. What this indicates based on his fingers, it says that he's somebody who would greatly benefit from reassurance from somebody
Yes.
saying, this
Yes.
is really the right thing to do. You made
Yeah.
the right call here. This is good.
Yeah.
He
And
benefits
that's why
greatly
you
from
have
that.
these people around you, the
Hmm.
saying, do that. You have your advisors.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Looking over here at the middle finger, that's actually your spiritual self. Yourself as as just a spiritual person. You look at the length of it; it's a little bit longer than the rest of his fingers. It's
Okay.
not short. Which would be a serious problem.
Yeah,
Um,
because nobody's is it?
I've seen some that are.
Oh, wow.
It means that you're not grounded and that you are not really sure of who you are. And you're kind of a follower, and you're just like, I'm going to try
Oh,
this thing
okay.
and try this thing and try
Uh-huh.
this thing, and that's a whole other bunch of problems. His is just a little bit long enough, meaning that he has in his mind a clear sense of what he feels is right versus wrong, and he's not one to ever compromise his morals
Okay.
or his way of
Because I'm looking
thinking.
at mine. Mine is a lot longer, isn't it?
That indicates that you're actually in an elevated state of mind. You're actually very in tune with your spiritual self and incredibly happy with where you are. So that's a wonderful thing.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's a
Yeah.
very, very, very positive thing.
Okay.
We would all benefit from that.
So the president could use some spirituality.
Well, he's busy getting a job done. But let's
Okay.
just say though, as far as what the country needs, it's a good length.
I see. I see.
It's he's gonna do what needs to be done. And the pinky is my favorite. The pinky has to do with communication.
Okay.
And I noticed that he has what's called the humanitarian bend, meaning that he will go out of his way. He will go out of his way to take care of people, give those that are closest to him everything that they need. It also says that he's very good at keeping a secret. So it's just
Okay.
that's just how he is this time. He's very good. If you say, don't spread this, don't pass this along, he
Uh-huh.
can absolutely do
Okay.
that. And
Because it bends in.
it bends
It bends
inward.
in. Okay, I see.
Yes. So because it's called the humanitarian bend. The downfall here, his drawback is that while he's busy going out of his way to help everybody out and give them courtesy,
Uh-huh.
he frequently forgets that he deserves the same thing.
Like what we were talking about
Yeah,
today.
he does not put
Okay.
himself first. He puts
Okay.
everybody ahead of him.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
in addition to that,
Selflessness.
his Mercury, excuse me, his pinky, which is known as Mercury, his communication finger. I don't know if you can see. It's a little bit low set. You see where the bottom of it is, the bottom line right here.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit low set. That also indicates that he would definitely benefit from looking in the mirror and saying some nice things about himself. Which I
Okay.
think we can all relate to that.
President Obama, you need to listen to Spiritually Speaking. Do some meditation, on worthiness.
Mhm. He just,
Yeah.
he would do well to just compliment himself every now and then
Okay.
and believe it.
Positive affirmations. Yeah. on you, or just saying, I am doing a good job. I am
Mhm.
a great president. I'm doing what, and then it's not just for, anybody should say this, right?
Mhm.
Um, for themselves, that you're doing a good job. Because even if you're not, when you believe that you are, you will start to
Yes.
do the good job that you are meant to do.
Mhm.
Okay.
I wish that I could give you details about the
Well,
palm is so faded.
what about that one? The
The
Mount
Mount
of
of Venus,
Venus. Yeah.
best way to
And
look at
that's
that.
this
Yeah,
part
it's
under
the
your
plushy
thumb.
part. That's actually the third phalange of the thumb. A lot of people don't know that the thumb has 3 phalanges. The Mount of Venus is number 3. 1,
What's
2,
the
3.
phalange is what's the phalange?
Digits in your
Digits.
fingers and toes.
Oh,
So like
okay.
all of these are
Uh-huh.
phalanges. All
Uh-huh.
of these up here on those fingers are
Okay, so they
phalanges.
can't see where you're pointing. That's why I'm
No,
putting
I'm
my hand
sorry.
up there.
Up
So it's
here.
phalanges.
These are phalanges.
Okay. And so this is a phalange as well.
The thumb has 3. The Mount of Venus is the third phalange.
Okay.
And I can tell you absolutely nothing about it because I actually have to push on it to tell you what's
Okay.
going on.
But I know that people, if we all look at our own hands,
Mhm.
some people have really fat ones, some people have
Yes.
thin ones.
Yes.
And I know mine used to be really skinny, and now it's like plumped up over the
Well,
years.
let me see your hand. You're
Okay.
right-handed?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. This is actually really good. You want it to be like firm and squishy at the same time.
Okay.
It means that overall state of physical health right now is very good.
Okay.
So it's plump is not a bad thing.
Plump is not a bad thing.
No.
Okay. See, I thought it was those.
No, if you
She
pushed
was
on
a-
it and it felt kind of deflated, I would worry. It's like,
Yeah.
do you have an infection? Are you anemic? Are
Yeah.
you not feeling well? Are you depressed? It means that your health is not, or your emotional or physical state is not where it needs to be for you.
Okay. And then, there's a couple of lines in his hands too, where
Mhm.
we talk about the heart line, the head
Mhm.
line, and
Mhm.
sun line. Do you want to talk about those?
Absolutely. I can only tell you there are so many little details that we're missing out on, but overall, looking at his heart line or love line, whatever you want to call it,
And
they're
that's the
both the
line
same
that
thing.
kind of curves in your hand.
It's the one that goes on that part of the palm up here. It would be
Okay.
the topmost line.
Okay.
He has what's called actually, it's known as a physical heart line because it has kind of that upward curve.
Okay.
So to the people, to his family and the ones that he's close to, he's like very open with his feelings, physically affectionate, loves to give hugs and, just say,
Okay.
I love you so much. And
Okay.
so and that's wonderful, being a husband, being a father, then he's like incredibly loving to his family.
Okay.
So that's what you can tell by looking
That's
at his
what you
heart
need.
line.
Okay.
And
Headline.
headline, it's indicating a little bit more left brain with interesting about his attention span. It's not a long attention span. It means that he would, he'd be able to study in bursts and then he'd have to take small breaks, but he's actually able to grab the gist of even a complex subject very quickly.
I see.
Fast learner.
And you need that as an attorney
Yes.
and the president.
Yes.
Okay.
So that way of learning comes in very handy for him.
Okay.
And
Lifeline.
the lifeline, it's so faded. I can't see.
You can't see.
No, I
Okay.
could tell you so much you need to bring the president to me and then I can tell
I will. I will when he comes in. I have to call Michelle. I need to call Michelle and just say, hey, get him in here. We need him in here. But that was fantastic. I loved it so much. And
It was fun.
You guys, please, if you want to have your palm read, please tell them how to contact you, April.
You can you can basically do we have the number to the mystical sense? I
Um,
should have that on me.
I don't. Oh, no, I don't.
No, it's
Wait a minute, I can find it because, I'm resourceful.
for
But
those who are not familiar with the shop, though, it's Mystical Sense, but you've got to spell it with a K. Otherwise, you're not going to get the correct shop. Mystical with a K.
okay. Yeah, and if you just look it up, then you can find the number there. But
Mhm.
that's where and you also have a blog too.
Not so much a blog. I do have a Facebook business page with
Uh-huh.
updates and funny or inspirational pictures or thoughts and just saying, this is what I'm going to be doing today. I hope to see you there, kind of thing. And I'm constantly promoting the shop because they're such an important part of this community because they're so giving, and every single employee that works there and any of the affiliated healers and readers, they're just wonderful, amazing, giving people.
I know I love it there myself. I'm there on Thursdays or by appointment
Mm,
doing healing, and
mhm,
every third Thursday I'm the reader there too.
right.
So I'm gonna stand up for a minute. I'm gonna get that number because it's really important for you guys to get it, so you
Yes.
can contact April. So hang on a second. So talk, April.
Okay. I think it's 813-986. I can't remember if it's 813-986 or 984. I think it's 3212. Just now that I'm put on the spot, I'm afraid I'm going to
Okay,
remember it
that's okay. I'm
incorrectly.
gonna give it to you right now because I think it's easier to do it this way than to try to get it on the internet.
Of course, the shop is open 7 days a week. It's Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and on Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And anybody that you would like to meet with any of the readers or healers, you can call in and make an appointment to meet with them, or just walk in and see what happens.
And their number is 986. I'm sorry. It's 813-986-3212. Is
I,
that what you said?
I had the last four digits right.
Okay.
It's not going to help.
Alrighty, guys. Then I'm just gonna because Adam just told us we have 3 minutes left. So I like to do a closing prayer. And you have any events coming up?
Um, that's about it right now. Unfortunately, wedding planning is taking a lot of the focus. But just doing still doing ghost tours and spending time at the shop and just enjoying meeting new people.
Okay. My normal prayer is just technically not gonna happen. So hey Adam, can you play the music for us a little bit? I just want to thank everyone for being with us today. And thank yourselves. Give yourself a big hug for tuning in and for learning about worthiness, knowing that you are worthy, and learning about something else that you can do to enhance your spirituality and learn something about yourself. I hope you learned something here today and spiritually speaking. And that's what we're all about is giving back to the community, giving back, helping you learn new things. God bless April Lark for her talents and her gifts and how she gives back to the community and how she can give back to you. So as you go on your journey, on your spiritual journey today and always, know that you are loved and deep in your heart that you are protected and that you are important and that you are worthy. And we thank you and we thank you for everything, and we thank Source for all that he or she or it gives us every day to make us our lives richer and more wonderful and more blessed. Don't forget to give, and then you will receive. Know that you are God's creation and God's love. Namaste. Thank you, Adam. So don't forget to do your daily affirmations. If you go to my Facebook page, which is Quintessence ACH, Facebook slash no, Facebook.com/ Quintessence ACH, you can get a affirmation a day. Every day there's an affirmation. There's also a mindful thought there with a beautiful picture. So if you just need some inspiration every day, that's what my site does, is it gives you that. Also know that I am available for healings, and I know there were some people that were asking me about Reiki. I don't have any more classes for the end of this year, but I do one-on-one. So if anybody's interested in doing a one-on-one Reiki session, 1, 2, or 3, or a Reiki master, you can contact me at 813-367-7385, and that's Dee Dee Lovejoy. And thank you guys for joining us today. April, thank you so much. Let me give you a hug.
It was my pleasure.
Love you, girl.
Love you
girl.
too.
And don't forget the good tips that we gave you guys today about the puppy breath.
Yes, especially puppy breath.
And about the rubber band, and about, replacing any negative thought with a beautiful memory, and always, doing for yourself so that you are able to give to others. And that's our show for today. Thank you all so much. Want a joyous, fulfilling life? Do what the fulfilled do. Be grateful for the things you have. Give freely from your heart. Be of service to others. Leave ego behind and let spirit fearlessly guide you to your highest and best self. And most of all, choose it for yourself and believe that you already have it. Thank you for tuning in to Spiritually Speaking. We'll see you next week. Namaste. To learn more about Dee Dee Lovejoy, tune into www.oilsandstones.com.